Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Music of the Week. I know there wasn't a stream last night, a couple of reasons. One, I was getting food. Two, my parents were having a nap because they've had a long week at work and I didn't want to talk too loud and disturb them. So I've done no streaming this past week. I will pick it up again on Tuesday. There will be PBW versus AVW as soon as I've set up the card, but that's for the future. We're here to talk about the now, and the now is 5 albums to talk about, so let's talk about those 5 albums. I'll start with one that people might have been expecting me to talk about, even though no one really watches my videos. Chubby And The Gang with their second album, The Mutts Nuts. These are a group from, I initially thought Manchester because of the way they sounded, but they're from London in the UK. Very old school pub, punk, rock and roll sort of style. And you know what, I'm all for it. I'm giving this a B+. I feel like there are a few too many songs that didn't really need to be tacked on, but I like how versatile it is for only the band's second album. I know they're a group who they're one of those examples of a group who formed from the ashes of a couple of other bands in the UK, and they put their time to good use as well. There's some solid lyrics, really good riffs for the most part. I wish there were more solos. There's good melody when it counts, and the production's pretty solid, although I think there's a bit too much echo on the lead singer's voice. I really wish that they did a bit less with that, unless that is just how loud he sounds, but for the most part, yeah, no, this is actually well worth your time. I mean, you've probably heard some good stuff about it. It is an album that's worth a listen. It's not perfect, but it gets the bits, it gets really right, so yeah, I'd say give it a spin. Next up we go to Donetsk, Ukraine for the second album of this video, Ginger with their 4th album, Wallflowers. Now, I've done a full backtracking episode of them, and as people might know, I wasn't a big fan of Macro. That was my first Ginger album, and I think it was a bad place to get in. I think I should have waited for this one, because this album fucking smacks. A+, holy shit, I was not I had a feeling it was going to be good, because I know Ginger can be good. I mean, their first album, tell you that, and Macro is fine, but Wallflowers might be their best bit of work. I 100% love this. I love the lyricism, the dynamics in the instrumentation are really great. I know this is more of a going back to that roots style thing, but it's going back to their roots with a more modern sort of polish, you know, and you have to remember their debut only came out in 2014. So yeah, that's not a big time gap, especially because, 4 albums across 7 years is pretty impressive, but still, really enjoy this. I can't really think of a lot of complaints. Really fun, lyricism, really great instrumentation. The production is goddamn awesome as well. Performances are amazing. The lead vocalist, whose name I forget, thank God I have the Wikipedia open. Tatiana Shmeliuk, or Tati for short. She does an amazing job. A+, absolutely, 100% recommend this album. Holy crap. So we head to America for the first time in this video, specifically LA, California, for Phineas with their 5th album, The Fire Itself. Now, I've actually wanted to cover a Phineas album for a long time, but just never got around to it, and there's a very good chance this album was supposed to come out next year, because it's been 4 years since their last one, titled Doc Flag. And, yeah, it was probably supposed to come out last year, but the pandemic and that, so yeah, I really like this though for my first Phineas album. I'm giving it a B. I thought it was just really solid, straight up in your face metalcore. The guitar solos on this thing are absolutely amazing. The main issue I have, it's not got bad lyrics for a Christian leaning band. There is some good stuff about darkness and mental health in there, and the negative sides of religion. The production, yeah, was really good. The performances, especially from said lead guitarist, whose name is what? Daniel Gailey, yeah, he does a great job. And drummer Isaiah Perez as well, he kills it too. I really like a lot of the performance aspects of this album, but I think my main problem is the structuring, probably because my hair's all crazy. Not because my hair's all crazy, because a lot of it does repeat, and I know that's coming from me because I bring up a lot of the same things when I'm talking about music, but yeah, it feels a lot like a lot of these songs do slightly repeat themselves, but there's good pacing as well, and it does. There's a fly in my room, excuse me. And it doesn't often feel like it tries to hide that fact, and I'm just yeah, it does what it can, and that's why I give it a B. I still think it's really solid, especially for my first Phineas album, for a band I've wanted to try for a long time. Next up we go to definitely the album I think a lot of people are expecting me to cover, Turnstile, more specifically Baltimore, Maryland's Turnstile, with their 3rd album, Glow On. Now, I have actually wanted to try out Turnstile, much like I wanted to try out Phineas, but Turnstile are still a bit earlier into their career, and I'm really glad I jumped on this album, because, 3rd albums are important for a reason, and this one, giving an A. Really enjoyed this one. Really solid melodic hardcore punk. Loved a lot of the trappings of it. You know, there's a lot of personality and charm to it as well. It's got some really good musical chops. My main issue is sort of the structuring. There are way too many shorter songs that could have just been thrown away, and I think this album would be A+, but an A is still a fucking great grade because this album is pretty amazing. I love a lot of the lyrical stuff. I like how it's very lighthearted in its tone as well, which is something you don't usually get from hardcore punk. I really enjoyed that. Solid instrumentation, the performances are pretty great. You know, I don't mind the structuring as it is either, because there's still plenty of catchy songs and really good pacing and switches, but, you know, it's just too many, like, too much feeling that could have not been there, but, you know, for what it is, it does make it worth it. So, yeah, this album is definitely worth it, and if you've heard good things about Turnstile, this is the album I'd recommend jumping on board with. And finally, we head to Sydney, New South Wales, Australia for the last album of this video, With Confidence, with their self-titled third album, With Confidence. Now, I heard their last one, Love and Loathing, and I thought that album was pretty good. These are a group that focus more on the melodic, sort of emo-y side of pop punk, like it's a little bit slower than what I'm used to. And you know what? Yeah, this album, I don't hold it in as high regard as Love and Loathing. I still liked it. I'm giving it a B-, the lowest grade I'm giving this video. So, I think the lyrics are a little bit weird, and I think the riffs could have done with a bit more beefing up. But there is one factor that does help, which is the introduction of new lead guitarist Scotty Mack. It's the first time they've had a lead guitarist in quite a while, and he does a really good job, I think. You know, he's yeah, he picks up a lot of the slack, and he definitely adds a lot. Obviously, lead vocalist Jaden Seeley, again, thank you Wikipedia. Lead guitarist Jaden Seeley and bassist as well, does a really good job too. Solid drumming from, what's his name? Joshua Brasesi. I have no idea how to say that. Joshua, we'll call him that. But yeah, for how this album is, like, I did expect a bit more. I mean, 10 songs off an hour, it's not a long album, it's really not going to take too much time. But I did like most of what I got. I just wish I had a bit more to chew on at the end of the day. You know, I was much like the opposite of Turnstile's album, where I think that should have had less filling. This album should have had a little bit more. You know, or like something more to me to really sink my teeth into. And that will about do it for this episode of Music of the Week. That's another one in the bag. As for what's next from me, possibly tomorrow another Fight of the Night review. If I can get it done on Tuesday, if I can get the card sorted out before then, PBW versus ABW, I'm going to fucking try and get that done, because we got Fight of the Gods to build up to. I've got a couple of matches in mind, I just need to get the rest of it all done. Also some characters to download, so many new attires as well. Sheesh. As for what's next after those, though, fucking Fly. Not the Fly. I don't know if there's much else besides those. Random Game Stream on Friday, if I can do that, because I wasn't able to last night. Maybe a top 10 episode, if I can get it done. The 3 Days Grace backtracking episode, because I'm halfway through that, so that'll be good. Yeah, that's all I can think of. Just, there'll be something, you know, probably tomorrow. Probably within the week. Who can say? You know, me, if I'm not overly lazy. But I'll see if whatever the hell is next, because not even I know. And as always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye-bye.